So I saw an article the other day on a Facebook group that engineers like to hang out on about some of the unlikely heroes of the Ukrainian conflict. These unlikely heroes are engineers, mobile phone engineers, internet and networking engineers, and yes, broadcast engineers. I'm recording this in April of 2022, and right now Russia is invading Ukraine. Out of this conflict, we're hearing stories of engineers restoring cell phone networks and network engineers restoring internet connections to keep data flowing in and out of the country. And yes, we've seen Elon Musk's Starlink terminals being used for communications, but not everyone there has access to these terminals. And they don't necessarily have access to internet. But even still, the message is getting out. The stories are getting out. They're providing news and information and even entertainment to people who are sheltering, to people who are evacuating. So all of that is essential to keep morale high. This is where the CBC article that I'm going to link down below, that's what it was talking about. There is a station in Kiev that is being run by a dedicated group of people. They talk about how there's air raids alerts that are happening, and sometimes for multiple hours, and they're every day, multiple times a day. So this radio station is providing news, it's providing information, and yes, even entertainment to those who are sheltering during these air raid alerts. The station is called Krina FM. The head of Krina FM tried to join the military resistance, but when they were asked if they had any military experience or fighting experience, they said no. And then they kind of explained to them, what they did, and they ran a radio station. And what actually ended up happening was the soldiers said, you know what, that's more important, go do that. So because of all the fighting, they lost their studios, and at one point they only had one microphone to broadcast with. And they were soon fortunately able to get more equipment from outside of Ukraine, but they're there. They have a lot of challenges to get programming and to send it out to their transmitter sites. And they're located right now in a small village that has very little internet access. So it's really hard to get data and information in and out and programming. But they're even doing sort of like a bush line network where they're passaging messages back and forth, looking for people who have needs. Hey, so-and-so has needs, and can anybody else help? And so-and-so has extra this, if anybody needs it. So that's really cool to see happen. It's a great article, and I suggest you check it out. I've linked it in the description below. So it's really amazing to hear these stories of fellow broadcasters coming out of conflict zones like this. And they're continuing to broadcast to people, to the citizens, and to those who are trying to evacuate. And they're in these areas where communications and power and pretty much radio is kind of it for them to get information and entertainment. And so radio's there in times of crisis, and here's a great example. So that's all I have for you today. It's Easter weekend. It is our biggest outside broadcast that we do of the year. So I will be taking you guys along with me. Hopefully I'll have the video done Monday, but I'm recording this on a Wednesday. Tomorrow on a Thursday, we start getting everything gathered together. We start setting it up. So yeah. Anyways, have a great weekend. Happy Easter, and stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, we'll see you then.